Hey, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Destiny 2 is a fairly new game. It launched on September 6th, which was nearly 2 months ago, and ever since then new players have been joining. When I first started playing, it was really hard for me to get to a decent power level since I didn't have the time to play for hours every single day. I did eventually get pretty high after a while, and in that time I learned quite a few tricks. So I've put together a list of 6 tricks that'll help you get to power level 305 in no time at all. Number 1. Fireteam Medallions. This is probably the most important trick on this list. You can buy the Fireteam Medallion from Tess Everest at the Eververse. It only costs 50 bright dust, which isn't much at all. The Fireteam Medallion lasts for 4 hours and increases the chance of finding legendary and exotic loot. It also increases the amount of XP you gain from strikes, public events, and the Crucible. The second trick is Cade 6's treasure maps. You can get these maps from visiting Cade 6 in the farm or at the tower in the hangar. 5 new maps are available every single week and each of them cost around 4,800 glimmer. Now, these chests are completely random, which means you have an equal chance to get an exotic, a rare, or a legendary. But if you use a Fireteam Medallion when you get all 5 of these chests, you have a much higher chance of getting much better equipment. The chests also drop EDZ tokens which you can give to Devrim K in exchange for legendary equipment. The third trick is public events. Public events happen all the time, everywhere, which means you can complete a lot of them in a short amount of time. In these events, lots and lots of enemies and bosses spawn, which means you have a really high chance of finding a drop. Each public event can be converted into a heroic event by carrying out a specific set of tasks, and every public event has its own unique set of tasks. Heroic events typically drop way better equipment and award much higher XP than their public event counterparts. If you have a Fireteam Medallion activated when you do one of these events, you have a really high chance of getting a legendary or exotic drop. The next step is the Crucible. Crucible is one of the best ways to get really high powered gear. If you get drops at the end of the match, it's a guarantee that it will always be the highest power you can have for your level. Maximum power levels do vary for different rarities, but if you get a legendary or exotic, it will always be the most powerful you can have at that level. If you're not a fan of PvP or you're just really bad at it, don't worry. You don't have to win a match to get a drop. Winning does, however, get you more Crucible tokens than you would get if you lost. These Crucible tokens can be given to Lord Shaxx in the tower or the farm in return for legendary gear. The fifth, and probably easiest trick, is to make sure that you always give your weapon parts to the gunsmith. When you do this, you're essentially converting your low quality gear into legendary and sometimes exotic gear. You can get weapon parts by dismantling armor and weapons. Dismantling cosmetic items like ships, sparrows, and emotes will give you bright dust, which you can spend in the Eververse for more emotes and Fireteam Medallions. And finally, the last trick is to join a clan. Every week, clans get new achievements to complete. These achievements can be completed by anyone in the clan and the rewards will go to everyone. This means that you can do practically nothing all week and collect legendary gear from Hawthorne. Being in a clan also means that it's much easier to find fire teams to play with. This makes it way easier to complete high rewarding activities such as Trials of the Nine and raids. That is going to be all for this video. I hope all of you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, consider subscribing and giving the video a like. You should also comment and tell me what you'd like to see in any future videos. And I'll see you next time. Peace!